Globalization. First of all, let me give my introduction. This is Shalini Khatwani. I'm an MBA in the field of finance and marketing, and currently I'm preparing for UgCnet Management. So this is one of the most interesting topic, and I've used more practical approach, more practical examples and flow charts in this PPT so that it will be very convenient for you to memorize the topic. So let's get started. First of all, globalization. Globalization came in India in the 1991, and it was known by the LPG model, that was termed as liberalization, privatization, globalization. Its main object was to make the Indian economy the fastest growing economy and globally competitive. Okay, the series of reform undertake with respect to industrial sector. The main purpose of implementing this policy by Dr. Manmohan Singh was to make the different sector of economy, industrial sector, then you have financial sector, more efficient, because before 1991 this sector were not functioning properly. After implementation of this model, there was severe changes in GDP, GNP, growing of different sectors, and thus this proved to be a successful model. Okay, and what were the reason for implementing this LPG model? And we are going to study globalization, but this came with this three terms: liberalization, privatization, globalization. Liberalization was referred to liberal the policy related to tariffs, duties, to make the policies of importing and exporting little relief. Before 1991 there were strict rules, regulation, and a lot of tariffs were imposed on the product which were imported. Okay, privatization refers to basically supporting more private entrepreneurs, because earlier everything was ruled by the public sector. So privatization was mainly concerned with emergence of more private entrepreneur, bringing more product, bringing more satisfaction to the consumer or the customer. And globalization, which is concerned with exchanging ideas, exchanging technology, exchanging product, exchanging information around the globe. For example, I'm using the product of Pepsi, Coke, Nestle, I'm using Facebook, I'm using Instagram, I'm using Twitter, I'm using the product of MBA, BlackBerry, I'm consuming the food products of McDonald's, Domino's, Pizza Hut, Burger King. All this is the best example of globalization. Okay, now let us focus on the meaning of globalization. Globalization is the integration of the world economy and exchanging the ideas, the products, and the technology. See, basically, we are importing products from China, Japan, USA, UK, Korea. We are not just consuming the product which is made in our country, but we are consuming the product which is from foreign country. That is globalization. Globalization is interdependence of different economy. Like for example, we are importing from different countries, China, Japan, Korea, as well as we are exporting also to different countries. We are exporting more agriculture product because India is self-reliant in the agriculture product. So what is this? We are dependent on some other country, and some other country is dependent upon us for some product. So that is globalization. Every economy is dependent upon each other for some or the other products. That is globalization. Okay. Globalization is the process of international integration arising from the exchanging of world's views, products, ideas, and other aspects. See what happens in globalization, I'm telling you. See, this is globalization. This is society, politics, economy, environment, and your culture. Basically, what happens in globalization, there is an exchange of views, ideas, and technology around the globe. What is being exchanged? Culture. See, now what happens, we are consuming the products of USA. We never thought we will be consuming the pizza, or noodles or pastas, these are from foreign countries. This food is not originated from our country. Whereas if we talk about Indian food, that's also being there in the USA, UK, China. They are consuming the product. So what is this? There is an exchange of culture. We are using the products, or we are consuming the product which are originated from other culture. Okay, economy, different economies are interacting among each other for some or the other products. There is an different environment in different countries. Okay, like if I talk about McD came in India with the beef burger, that was totally rejected by Indian government or Indian people. So what is this? They need to analyze the environment before establishing their business activity. So globalization analyzes the different environment. See, if I talk about India, India's environment is totally different from China, Korea, Japan. So what is this? Globalization is concerned with analyzing the environment of different economy and making product, or making available product in that particular place. Now, in India, the process of globalization picked up the policy of reform. I've told you in 1991, the policy was given by Dr. Manmohan Singh, and the main object was to increase the gross domestic product. Okay, the main object was to increase the gross domestic product, GDP. GDP is value of all final goods and services which is produced in a country during a particular period of time. Earlier, before 1991, GDP was very less. What was the GDP in 1991? The GDP in 1991 was 1.4, and in 2013-14, okay, last data I am calculating, it is 4.5. So there was drastic increase in the GDP after implementing LPG. Okay, there was a high inflation rate. Inflation also reduced after LPG. Okay, the low annual growth rate of Indian economy stagnated about 3.5% from 1950 to 1980, and per capita income also increased after implementing LPG model in Indian economy. Okay, now 4 parameters. What are the 4 parameters of globalization? Okay, first point is very easy. Globalization is concerned with reducing the barriers. What happened before 1991? There were a lot of barriers. There were a lot of tariffs and duties which were imposed on foreign countries or foreign companies before importing some product of other country. There were a lot of barriers, restrictions by the government. But after 1991, by liberalization, privatization, globalization, all these barriers were removed by the government of India, so that foreign companies can come and invest in a company. There were more chances of FDI, foreign direct investment. There was chances of competition. There was chances of more utilization of resources, more job opportunities, and variety of products to the customer or the consumer at the very nominal price. See, before 1991, we were just consuming the products which were manufactured in a country. Okay, we were not relying on the other product. But after coming of foreign companies, what happened? There was a huge drastic competition. We got more alternative. We were just consuming the product which were manufactured earlier. But after LPG, we were consuming the product of China, USA, Japan, Korea. So what happened? There were more alternative to the consumer with a more feature, because technologically India is not sound, whereas USA, China, Japan are more sound. So what happened? The standard of living of the people also increased after globalization. Okay, creation of environment in which free flow of capital can take place. What happens after this implementation of globalization? The free flow of capital. What is capital? The money which is invested in business. Okay, so what happens? Earlier, what was that? We were just concerned with our economy only. We were never concerned, we were never interacting with the other foreign countries. So what happened? After LPG, we used to get, like Indian government or Indian entrepreneurs used to get the capital which was freely flowed from foreign countries also. Okay, creation of environment permitting free flow of technology. See, a very important point this is. Okay, free flow of technology. India is not technologically sound. We rely on agriculture basically for GDP, GNP, per capita income. Okay, India is an agro-based country. We don't have much technology. We are technologically not sound. So what happened after globalization? More technology came in India, new software came in India, and the standard of living also increased. We never thought that we would be consuming or using the products which are touch screen, tablets, iPads. This all things came from foreign country. Okay, the Apple company is USA company. You take about Samsung, that's a Korean company. You take Nokia, you take Oppo, Vivo, all our companies are foreign companies. So this is globalization. Okay, creation of environment in which free movement of labor can take place. This is also very important. What happened? See, basically before 1991 there was no free movement of labors from one country to another country, but after 1991 the free labors from India were exported to China, okay, or China to India. Basically labor cost is very low in China, so basically more labors were imported from China to India for production, low cost and more productivity. African peoples were also imported to different countries for production process because the labor cost is very low in that country. Now, globalization means rapid increase in the share of economic activity. What happens? Economic activity means buying and selling. Before 1991, before this policy, there were no free interaction among different economies of the state. There were no economic activities, buying or selling. We are buying from some country, we are selling to some other country. That's import and export. But after globalization, that took place at a drastic rate. Okay, we are importing a lot of products from different country. Like if I talk about technological product, we are importing from China, Japan, UK, USA. And if I talk about petroleum and diesel, we are importing from Arabian countries. So, and as well as we are exporting to other countries also. We are exporting more of agriculture product, and small scale industries products have a huge demand in the international market of Indian economy. So this is the interaction among different economies for some or the other products. Now, integration of economy. See, after globalization, every economy is dependent upon each other. India is dependent on China for some product. Okay, China is dependent upon India for some product. So there is an integration of economies around the globe. The increased reliance of economies on each other. Every economy, every country is dependent upon each other for some or the other products. We are not self-reliant. We are not just consuming the products of our country. Okay, we are consuming every product from foreign country. Take an example like Shein, online shopping. That's a Chinese app. Then you have Club Factory. That's a Chinese app. So what is this? We are not just consuming our products. We are consuming the foreign country's product. So there is an integration. Okay, the opportunity to be able to buy and sell in any country in the world. Yes, this is the best point of globalization. You have the opportunity, you can buy from any country, you can sell from any country. It's like I can now, sitting in my home, I can purchase the product of USA. Okay, I can purchase the product from H&M, Zara. These all are foreign companies. They are not Indian companies. Okay, so this is so easy after globalization. We are not just using the product of our country, we are using the international company's product. I can purchase Apple phone, I can purchase iPad, I can purchase Samsung, I can purchase Oppo and Vivo. All this is globalization. The opportunity for labor and capital to locate anywhere in the world. Earlier, before globalization, laborers were not being able to relocate anywhere in the world. But after globalization, the laborers can be located anywhere around the globe. Where there is a demand for the laborers, they are exported to that particular place where there is a demand for labor. Okay, the growth of global market in finance. Yes, after this, there is a growth of finance market. Okay, the market of finance like share market, capital market, and there is a more role of IMF, International Monetary Fund, because we are not just dealing with our country, we are dealing with other countries, so we need to pay in different currencies like dollar, euro, pound. So what is this? The role of IMF, International Monetary Fund. Okay, it is used. Now, causes of globalization. What are the causes of globalization? Why globalization came into existence? Okay, I've told you earlier also, but then also we'll study in depth. Trade liberalization. The government wanted that exchanging of products and ideas and information with different countries should be liberal, should be taking place easily. Trading means buying and selling. Liberal means basically removing all restrictions, all barriers. Improving in technology, yes, very very important. Every economy wants that we should be technologically sound, but it's not possible. Like for India, it was not possible like in 1991 to be technologically sound or improve in technologically. So what happened, they wanted FDI, they wanted globalization, so that foreign entrepreneurs come here and start up a business and use more technology, more software, so that our economy globally develops. That contributes towards increasing GDP, GNP, per capita income, and improves the standard of living of the people. Derogation of financial market, increased significance of TNC, transactional corporation. Yeah, basically it is the corporation which is concerned with dealing with different countries, okay, which is dealing with the transaction related to buying and selling. See, if so, for example, I'm purchasing the product from USA, I need to pay in dollars. So this is the basically corporation which concerned with buying and selling of currencies, okay, for some product. Now, features of globalization. What are the features of globalization? Large scale production of marketing, interlinking of economy. This is very easy point. All economies are dependent upon each other for some or the other products. So, the economies are interlinked on each other. Competition, I have told you earlier also. More foreign companies are coming here. There will be more competition. There will be more alternative, and there will be options to the consumer or the customer. Interdependence of countries. Every country is dependent upon each other for some other the products. Large scale production. Earlier there was just the production limited to your economy, but the production now is unlimited. All other foreign countries, foreign companies, foreign investors, foreign entrepreneurs are coming. So the scale of production is large, huge. Now, reasons for globalization. What were the reasons for globalization? Better resources. Of course, government wants that you resources should be utilized at the best possible level. So they need an emergence of globalization. Foreign entrepreneur will come here. They will analyze which sector should be developed, which sector needs improvement, so that we should invest in that sector. So there will be utilization of the resources. Market expansion. There will be an expansion of market. Before, earlier we were just dealing with the one product, one company was only there, but after globalization, more company came here, market expanded, there were more product, there were more alternative, there were more option to the consumer or the customer. Operating internationally, it's not just concerned with nationally. We are not just globalization is concerned with globe over the world, not just one economy. Low cost of production, yes, very important. Like labors are being imported from other countries at the low cost, so that will be resulting in low cost of production. Increased profit. The profit is being increased because there is more alternative, there are more options, and there is low cost of production, and that will result in more profits. Labor mobility. Labor can be mobile, they can be transferred from one place to another. That is also very very important point. Before 1991, before globalization emerged, there was a problem of labor. We cannot import labor from foreign countries. The skilled labors were not able to be imported because of the restriction or trade barriers. But after that, more labors are being imported from China or African countries. They are more skilled, they are more hardworking, and that they are charging low cost, low salary, low wages as compared to Indian workers. Now, advantage of globalization. This is one of the most important point to remember. Okay, advantage of globalization. High standard of living. Let us focus on this point. High standard of living. How high standard of living takes place. See, earlier we were just consuming the product of our country. The product were not so standard one, no techno one. But after coming of foreign companies or foreign countries in our country and making product of more advancement, more technologically, like Apple company, the product is of more standard one. Technologically, it's very sound. Of course, the pricing is very high, but it is the techno product, it is more advanced. So the standard of living of the people increased after globalization. People used to purchase the international products, the product which are more sound. Increased competition. There was an increase in the competition because there are various alternative. Earlier there were only one there were monopoly, there were only one company. But after LPG, after globalization, foreign companies came. There was an FDI. Okay, FDI emerged in resulting in more competition. Now for like mobile phones, we have Oppo, Vivo, we have Mi, we have Samsung, we have Apple. So many alternatives, so much competition is there. Okay, develop world progress, yes, of course the world will be developed after world is developed after globalization. There is an increase in GDP, GNP, per capita income, standard of living of the people is increasing. And what's happening, we are consuming the products which are technologically sound, and we can consume the products which is manufactured anywhere around the globe. This is so good point of globalization. Increase in the foreign trade, yeah, there is an increase in the foreign trade. There is an exchange of commodities between different countries. For some of the other countries, we are dependent on some other countries. Okay, like for diesel and petroleum, we totally rely on our Arabian countries. So what's that, we are dependent upon that diesels or petroleum for that country. So there is a trading takes place between India and Arabian country. Cultural diversity, very important point. We are analyzing, we are consuming, or we are satisfying ourselves by dealing with the other culture also. Okay, now sitting in India, I can watch a Hollywood movie. I can watch what we can say Chinese show, Korean show. I can consume the product of China, like I can taste it noodles, I can taste the soups, I can taste the Korean food, I can taste pizzas which are totally different from our culture. So there is a culture diversity, and as well as Indian products are also being there in foreign countries, and they're totally loving that products. So what is this, there is a cultural diversity. Generates employment, yes, earlier there were only one company, and that was dealing with just some limited people, because there was no more companies. There was just one company, that was the Indian company. But after globalization, more foreign companies came, there was FDI. So what happened, there were more chances of job opportunity to the different people in the country. So it generates employability. Improves access to technology, this is one of the most important point, because see, basically foreign countries are more technologically sound as compared to Indian country. We are not sound in technology, we are rely on more agriculture. Okay, so what happens, there is an excess of easy technology between us and our foreign countries. Okay, increased productivity, the productivity increased after globalization. There was more production, there was more expansion of the market, there were more alternative to the consumer. Okay, decline in price of